This is a live scene from Finsbury Park. Obviously, an ongoing investigation at the moment. We know that a large part of the area is cordoned off. Mohammed Shafiq is the Chief Executive of the Ramadhan Foundation. Joins us now. Morning to you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. And obviously, at this point, we know some of what's happened, but not the exact details. And what seems to be key here is many people saying that these worshippers were deliberately targeted. What do you know?
So I've spoken to a number of eyewitnesses who were on the ground who said that that van was deliberately directed towards pedestrians as they were coming out of the mosque. We know that van is registered. It's a hire van from the Vale of Glamorgan, which is around 170 miles from London. And so, yeah, this is a deliberate attack against innocent Muslims, and we shouldn't hesitate to call it out for what it is. The terrorists 2 weeks ago in London and in Manchester, here in Manchester, wanted to divide communities, and these far-right extremists won't succeed in dividing our communities. What is your personal response when you first heard of what happened last night? First of all, here we go again. Enough is enough of this violence, and our country has faced so much this week in Grenville and Manchester and London. It's just really sad. Human life is sacred, whatever its background, whatever ethnicity or religion, and we must all come together and reject this violence and hatred. And I really want to call out some of the commentators and media personalities who have perpetuated the hatred towards Islam and Muslims, because they've allowed that environment to exist where these people carry out such terrorist attacks.
And we've heard from Sadiq Khan this morning saying, like the terrible attacks he says in Manchester, Westminster and London Bridge, it's also an assault on all our shared values of tolerance, freedom and respect. And that is something key, really, to remember at this time, isn't it?
Yeah, because Ramadan is a month of prayer. It's a month of charity and coming together as a community. And, we've seen it last week in the Grenville Tower attack, where people have given up their, fast and family and gone out and help. And that's what they've been doing. And so, yes, these days will be very, very difficult. But I'm absolutely determined that we've got to reject violence, absolutely, from whichever section of society we find it.
We've seen a strong response already from Theresa May calling this a potential terrorist attack, and we've read out a statement from Jeremy Corbyn this morning as well. What sort of response do you want to see from the authorities?
Well, I think the response we've seen already from the Prime Minister is very good. There's a Cobra meeting going on. People are concerned, the mosque across this country, because in the evening there will be a lot of people going to those mosques. People are very, very concerned, and obviously heightened security alert. We've issued advice to over 1,500 mosques to provide additional security. So that obviously something which people will do. But yeah, it's a terrorist attack carried out by white supremacists against Muslims, and we must reject it.
Yeah, we don't know the identity of the man involved, and we do know some of what he was saying, though, don't we? We know from Sadiq Khan that there will be extra police to reassure communities, especially those observing Ramadan. You would welcome that?
Absolutely, yeah. I've spoken to Greater Manchester Police this morning as well, and that security will be offered to all mosques here in the northwest as well, and across the country. It's important that people feel safe whilst praying.
And it has been a period of weeks of really distressing news, hasn't it? Would you sort of appeal for calm, or what would be your message?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody should remain calm, allow the police to carry out their investigation. Whatever's happened, the police will get to the bottom of it and justice will happen, and we're just not going to give in. And so I really honestly urge people just to stay absolutely united and not let people divide us.
We're hearing from some eyewitnesses this morning as well. Do you think was there concern before this incident in the Muslim community about fear of reprisals and attacks? So after the London terrorist attack, we saw uptake in the number of attacks against innocent Muslims. There was threats made against mosques as well. Yeah, it's been difficult, but in the end, I don't think you can stop and protect a mosque or a community by this lone vigilante attack from people.
Mohammed Shafiq, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I know you were with us here a little bit later, but thank you for the moment.
Thank you.
We'll have the very latest on that.